Hello everybody, so today's April 13th and I actually got a chance to check out the album before it dropped tomorrow. I'm talking about Metallica's 72 Seasons, of course, and I've actually listened to it 3 times already, so I got a pretty good idea of what I'm going to tell you on this review. Full disclosure, if you're a Metallica fanboy and you get triggered by the fact that I am going to criticize probably your favorite band and you can't take any criticism, get the hell out of here. Just click off, this video is not for you. But if you've actually grown up here and you want an honest review by a metal guy who's been listening to metal for the last 25 years and been a Metallica fan ever since like 1992, then stick around because it's coming at you and it's coming at you fast. So hello everybody and welcome to a new video and welcome to my channel where we talk about everything music from death metal to Queen and everything in between. So I had to jump through a lot of hoops before I could get to this album. And dude, let me tell you, it's not been easy because Metallica, man, they cracked down big time. Check this out. This is a message from a guy I read on Reddit who wrote, Metallica's management have asked that for anyone who wants to review the record, it has to be done in one of our Warner offices. We set them up with a private stream on a computer. They bring headphones they can plug into the computer. We print the lyric sheets for the reviewer to have while listening, and we've been asked to temporarily hold the phone of the reviewer. When they've gone through the album, we trade back the phone for the lyrics. Reviewer can take notes on their own notebook. So yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised that it hasn't leaked yet. I mean, it's already up in Australia and I think Europe and some other countries, but it hasn't been leaked worldwide. So yeah, they actually stuck to their guns. So yeah, I actually jotted down some quick notes about each individual song out of the 12 songs on the album. But before we get to them, let me talk about the album itself as a whole. Oh, and before I forget, if you like free stuff like we all do, make sure you subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for monthly giveaway videos. I'm actually giving away a mic tomorrow on the 14th. So yeah, there's one every month. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to this channel, drop me a like if you can, and drop me a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this album. So speaking of which, 72 Seasons, the album, just feels like a long album. It's 77 minutes long for some reason, and it only has 12 songs. So I mean, on average, the songs are way too long. Sound-wise and production-wise, it actually sounds a lot like Hardwired to Self-Destruct, which is actually an album I enjoy, but this is kind of like a watered-down version of that. Even though sound-wise is very much like that album, the songwriting is just not there. I mean, lyric-wise, it's pretty good, but musically, it tends to be way too repetitive, and there's a lot of parts that just don't really go anywhere, and all of the songs seem to fall on the same pattern. Long ass intro, verse, verse, chorus, bridge, solo, verse, chorus, a long ass outro. But I do want to focus on 2 very positive things on the album. One, you can really hear the bass. I mean, the bass is very much a part of the sound on this album. He even has his own time to shine on one of the songs, which is really cool. And number 2, the lyrics and James' vocals are just amazing. I mean, his pipes are just in top form. Now, of course, when it comes to drumming, it can get pretty repetitive and predictable, and I gotta give it to Kirk. How many times can you play the same pentatonic patterns over and over and not get bored with it? Guy's got patience. By the way, I completely disagree with Kirk's statement about haters. I mean, there's definitely a point in what he's saying. You know, you should definitely like follow your instinct when you're playing guitar instead of just trying to shred all the time, just being fast and do a lot of arpeggios and sweeps and stuff like that, you know, without going anywhere. But that's not really what people are complaining about, Kirk. I mean, personally, my favorite guitar players are not fast players. Brian May, David Gilmour, Mark Knopfler, there's so many awesome guitarists out there that are not really all that fast, but they come up with a musical idea that just adds to the song and makes the song all that much better. Hell, in many of the songs, the best part of the song is the solo, so yeah. Anyway, that being said, and in case you haven't figured it out yet, I am sad to say I am not a fan of this album. This is probably one of my least favorite Metallica albums of all time. Top 4 least favorite. It would probably have to be Lulu, Saint Anger, Reload, this guy. But let's get to it track by track. 72 Seasons, the title track, the opener, is actually pretty good. It's one of the, if not the best song of the album. Fast-paced, it's heavy, it's got key changes, it's got the best guitar solo in the whole album by a long shot, and it really starts out the album in a high note. Sadly though, it just goes downhill from here. Song number 2 is Shadows Follow. You got another marching intro here, you know, a long drawn-out intro. You start to see a pattern here. But I was actually surprised to hear some sort of a blast beat over a very happy sounding part on the chorus. That was cool, but the solo here is just okay. I'm not even going to comment on every solo. Now, song number 3 is Screaming Suicide, which we've already talked about, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. We've talked about this song already, not much to add. Song number 4, Sleepwalk My Life Away. It actually has a cool distorted bass intro, which kind of reminds you of Cliff a little bit. It's a decent mid-tempo song. It reminds me a lot of the Load era, but it also reminds me a lot of Man and Kind from the Hardwired album. Now, song number 5, You Must Burn, it's got a lot of that, you know, Black Sabbath kind of feel. It's slow, it's heavy, and the bridge really reminds me of Black Sabbath. It's got a really cool vocal performance, which is actually enhanced by a harmonizer in some parts, and the pace of the song really feels like Sad But True means Dream No More. Cool stuff. Now song number 6 is Lux Eterna. That was the first single that ever came out. I'm not a fan of that song, and a lot of people complain that it was Kirk Hammett's worst solo ever, but I gotta disagree. I mean, if Darkness Had a Son, anyone? Number 7 is Crown of Barbed Wire. It's kind of a cool song with a fast intro with what sounds like sampled drums and bass. It's a very cool song from a vocal standpoint. I really like the delivery when he says barbed wire at the end, when he says wire. Now song number 8 is called Chasing Light. It starts out slow with a lot of bass and marching drums again. Then it actually speeds up on the verse, and it's got one of the catchiest choruses on the album to me. It also has one of my favorite lines on the album. Without darkness, there's no light. Very philosophical. I like that. Number 9 is If Darkness Had a Son, and it's one of my least favorite songs on the album. It actually earned me a lot of hate when I criticized this song, but I stand by it. Even in the context of an album, it still feels like a drag. I mean, it's a long, boring song. It could definitely use a trim. Now, song number 10 is Too Far Gone, and it's one of my favorite songs on the album. It sounds like a mix between No Remorse and Seek and Destroy. I mean, if Metallica is gonna copy themselves, they could do, and they do, way worse. This is probably the most interesting song on the album from a musical standpoint. This is the most different of all the songs, and along with the title track, is my favorite from the album. That goes to show all the haters who claim I want them to sound like Ride the Lightning still.
Checkmate.
The major scale sounding chorus and some cool harmonized melodies make this song a standout song. It's also the first song on the album that actually feels like it's as long as it should be. The length on this song is just perfect. It's not too long, it's not too short. It's just right. Even the solo styles out pretty good.
OMG.
Now song 11 is Room of Mirrors, and it's kind of a thrashy song, but it's pretty forgettable. Along with If Darkness Had a Son, this is my least favorite song from the album. Although we finally get some fast double bass drumming here. And finally, we get to number 12, Enamorada or Enamorata, and this is the most hyped song on the album. Completely overrated, if you ask me. I mean, first of all, there's no reason why this song should ever be over 11 minutes long. That's ridiculous. But I do like that long bass bridge towards the middle of a song that actually adds atmosphere to an otherwise dull song. Surprisingly though, Robert is actually not credited as a songwriter on this song. Other than that, you have to wait till the 7-minute mark to actually get some melodies and some harmonies, but nothing they haven't done before. And then it just goes back to the same dull song it was before until it and the album just kind of end. Finally. So yeah, overall, I am not impressed with the album. I am going to listen to it a couple more times to see if anything changes and if I can find some more redeemable qualities in the album. But honestly, I doubt it. I mean, there's not a lot of layers musically to this album. So yeah, there's not a lot to find. That being said, if you actually do like the album, let me know in the comment section below and tell me why you think I'm wrong. I'm all in for talking about the album, and of course, let's keep it civil. I mean, I have no problems with you cursing, but YouTube is gonna block your comment. Anyway guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please drop me a like if you did, drop me a comment in the comment section down below, and let me know what you think of this album. Of course, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to this channel like a man. And if you like what we do and you want to help support the channel, make sure you go visit my Patreon. A little goes a long way, and we surely do appreciate it. Don't forget about the monthly giveaways. I will see you guys next time. Pat out, middle on, dudes.